problem. I was stuck. I wasn't moving forward. So I would work, but I would just waste money on, simple things because I was empty. So I tried to fill the void within me by going clubbing. So every week I would spend money on items like clothes or shoes, just new things I can go out with. I was raised by someone else, so by an older sister, because when I was 6, I went to visit her and then she decided to take me in. So I wasn't raised by my mother or my dad. So when I was young, I remember not seeing my dad because he would be in the war most of the time and then he would travel a lot. And the same thing with my mom. We came to Australia and then everything went wrong. There was a lot of division in my family. There was a lot of fight. There was always a lot of blaming, and it always, it would come up to me. It was always me being the bad seed. I had no one to talk to. So all these things, I bottled up within me. I became aggressive. I couldn't trust people. If I saw someone that I knew, I would get angry. I wouldn't want to go and speak to them because in my mind I would be like, oh, okay, here again, this person is going to make up lies about me and then I'm going to get in trouble at home. So all this made me empty, and because the love I didn't get at home, because I wasn't raised by my mom or my dad and no one could listen to me, I started avoiding home. And then for me to escape, I would go to work, and from work, I'll finish work, let's say from Friday night, and then I'll go clubbing. So I can feel that void in. I didn't want to see, some of my family members, and that's how I would deal with the problem. And, back home people would say, oh, your family's cursed, all the boys are going to die, the girls will never succeed, they will fail, and they will also die. So at first I didn't believe it, but then I started to see, bit by bit that we were losing family for no reason. They would get sick and they would die from that sickness. Because of this, I was also proud because I had to learn how to do certain things on my own. I have to grow up. I have to, take care of myself, also with my family overseas. So I became proud. So I would not ask for help. Even if I was struggling and I knew I needed help, I wouldn't ask for help because I had no one. I couldn't trust my family, so I couldn't trust anyone else. So I remember one day I was going to work and I really missed my mom because I wish my mom was there for me. And I remember sitting on the train that time and, I remember one time because I missed my mom and I had no one to talk to. I ended up crying on the train because I couldn't talk to anyone, not even my own brother, because I had no one to take care of me. Because who do you go to when you're in trouble? It's your family. But at that point, I felt alone. I felt broken, though I look, tough from outside. I was broken from inside because from a young age, I had no one to turn to. So I remember that time crying on my way to work because I wish my mom was there for me so I can at least talk to her. One morning I realized that, God could change my life, but I was not putting into practice what I was learning. And I was really revolted because I knew and I've seen God changing people's life. I would see testimonies. I would see people speaking about God giving them a new life. I got revolted and I decided to take action and change my life. And that's when I made, that vow in the morning. You know what? I'm going to come to the Universal Church. I'm going to put into practice what I'm learning. And I'm going to trust in God. I had to sacrifice everything that I thought I knew. I had to sacrifice that in order for God to change my life. I remember taking part of one of the campaign. And during that campaign, it wasn't just about giving my financial sacrifice, but it was giving everything. I remember I sacrificed my car, my saving, the wages that I was receiving as well. I was also waking up early. I was staying up until midnight to watch the prayer. And I had to really give because it was something that God was requiring from me. So I had to give my all in order for God to give me His all. Campaign after campaign, I did what God asked me to sacrifice. In one campaign, I remember I sacrificed all my saving that I had. I remember I wanted to buy a car. I sacrificed that, the money I had for my car and the money that I had for my saving, I remember sacrificing. And one campaign, I remember because I was attached to material things, because I would buy a lot of things. I remember one of the campaign, God asking me to sacrifice my clothes, my shoes. One campaign, he asked me to sacrifice my bed. And I remember when he asked me for my clothes, I didn't think I was attached to these things, but I remember even wanting to cry because I had to let go of these things. From campaign to campaign, today I am happy. Like, I don't have that void in me anymore, because I used to be empty. I'm no longer empty. I don't have the grudges that I used to have. I forgave my family members. I don't feel alone anymore. I don't need attention, from people to go clubbing to be happy. I don't need, to pretend that I'm happy anymore because I'm happy. I don't cry for no reason because I miss my mom. I have a better relationship with my mom and my family as well. No more deaths in my family for a long time now. No one died out of nowhere for no reason. My family are talking to each other. We don't have to distance ourselves anymore. He led me to the right people. So I was able to start a business. The greatest blessing that I have today is the Holy Spirit. And it's the most precious thing that I have, because God gave me a new life. The moment I received the Holy Spirit, the peace that I had, I cannot explain, the joy that I have today. I can go to bed, and sleep in peace, knowing that, certain things I don't have. It doesn't matter, because I know that God is in me. The Spirit of God that is in me help me fight in difficult moments. And I know, and I have the certainty that I would overcome, because I know who's in me. So my greatest blessing is the Holy Spirit.